In 1920, Thomas Edison, in an interview with a magazine, said he was working on a spirit phone, meaning a device that would allow the living to talk to the dead. He said that the spirits were only capable of subtle influences. A sensitive recording device would prove a better chance of spirit communication than the table tipping and Ouija boards mediums employed at the time. This article set off a small craze, leading to around 600 letters to the editor from people obsessed with the device. Although the spirit phone was a sensational idea, no schematic or prototype was ever found. Edison evidently didn't get much past the sensationalizing part of the invention process. Damn. If only Tesla would have tried to make a spirit phone. So, is there a way to hear the voice of someone who has died? There is, if you believe in EVPs. Hello, and welcome to Paralopedia, your source for everything that is, isn't, and might be true about paranormal phenomenon. This is your place to balance science with faith, where we live in the gray wasteland between staunch skeptics and mindless believers. I'm Jason from Rap10.net, and today we're looking at EVPs. What are they? How do you get them? And are they real? In a nutshell, EVPs are voices, or some other kind of sound that appears on a recording that weren't present at the time of the recording. They usually come as single words or short phrases. Many in the paranormal community attribute these to the voices of the dead, or other intelligent beings outside our realm of existence, such as demons, but there are also many scientific explanations out there to debunk them. In the 1970s, EVPs started to become popular and more mainstream, but trying to record the voices of the dead goes back way further than that. In the 1840s, the spiritualist movement started becoming popular. The new technologies of the day, including photography, were employed by spiritualists in an effort to demonstrate contact with the spirit world. Needless to say, many of them were fake. I am a believer in EVPs, but I also know there are many down-to-earth explanations for them, other than the dead talking to you. In some cases, these explanations might be the case, but I don't believe they are most of the time. The first explanation that a skeptic might give for an EVP is that the EVPs are hoaxed. This is obviously a very real possibility for some, but many of the EVPs captured are done so by people that spend a lot of time and money to collect them. Why would John Doe from Smithville City Paranormal fake an EVP? To coax himself into wasting more of his time? I think this is the case in some situations, but I know for a fact this isn't the case all the time. The next explanation is that EVPs are artifacts of the recording process itself. What people are actually recording is just random noise that sounds like human speech. The human brain wants to recognize patterns in random noise. Auditory pareidolia. This is very true, and when a person is out trying to catch an EVP, they will probably be more likely to try and hear one, whether they want to admit it or not. I've heard some EVPs that I believe this theory describes 100%. I'm sure you have too. The next common explanation is that the recorder is somehow picking up radio stations, or some other kind of transmission. When I was about 18, I heard a truck driver on a CB come over my car radio for a brief second. You may have even heard part of someone else's conversation over your cell phone. I point this out because sometimes stuff like this happens, and there are surely many EVPs out there that are the victim of this phenomenon. But I don't think this accounts for all, or even most of them. I have recorded countless hours of EVPs on several different recording devices, as many of you have, and I have never picked up a piece of a song, which one would expect if they were picking up radio signals as easily as some claim. Also, many times EVPs are saying something in regards to what I'm asking. The skeptical view of EVPs pretty much comes down to this: the skeptics will say they're bogus. But the same people that say this also haven't spent hundreds of hours trying to capture them either. If they have spent hundreds of hours trying to collect evidence of something they didn't remotely believe in, I would love to know why that is. There are three kinds of people who will watch this video. There are the believers, who will not have their minds changed by this video, or any other. Skeptics that will not have their minds changed by this video, or any other. And last but not least, those who are on the fence, which is really who this video is for. If you're interested in EVPs, the following is a quick beginner's guide to capturing EVPs. Many will agree and disagree with this, but this is what we do in our investigations. 1. Any kind of recorder will do. It could be a cheap used one off eBay, or a fancy expensive new one. Today, digital voice recorders or even tape recorders are used during paranormal investigations, but really any recording medium should be able to capture them. The first one I ever captured was on a cheap $20 DVR from Walmart, but I've also captured them on my $200 iPod. 2. Hold the recorder in the palm of your hand. Jostling the recorder around, or having sleeves or fingers near the microphone, will cause a bunch of unneeded noise on your recorder that might get confused with something else later on when you review the recording. Many times we place ours on a table or some other surface, so it isn't the issue at all. 3rd, ask questions pertaining to either the location or the people that used to be there. This is the best way to get an intelligent response, which is what you want. Sure, you'll be amazed if you hear a woman singing on your recording when there wasn't a woman present, but if you ask her name and she gives it to you, then you'll be hooked. 4th, refrain from talking, especially whispering, burping, coughing, moving, really making any kind of noise at all during a recording session. Again, this just adds to the possibility of confusion later on when you listen to your recordings. 5th, be sure to document where you are at the beginning of your recording. This might sound stupid, but later on this might help you remember what was going on at the time. 6th, be sure to document obvious sounds. If you're somewhere and you hear a car drive by in the background, say that out loud. So when you go back and listen, you can rule out strange noises that might not even sound like a car on the recording out. 7th, and the most important, be sure to spend some time. If you spend hours trying to get an EVP and you come up empty-handed, don't be discouraged. This is the nature of the beast. But just like anything else, if you stick with it for a while, you will be successful. So, do you think EVPs are the voices of the dead? Or are the skeptics right and there's nothing to them at all? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, you'd be very awesome if you would subscribe to our channel, like this video, and be sure to check out our investigations and other videos. Here's an example of an EVP. We captured this at the Hellsbar Dam. It is our best EVP that we have video of us capturing. Thanks for watching, and remember, there's no reason to be normal when you can be paranormal. Goodbye.
Watch that thing.
Yes.
What I think.
I don't see the one above them anymore.
Yeah, they're lights.
Are they biking or are they walking? I think they're biking. Are they biking or are they walking? I think they're biking.
I don't see the one above them anymore.
Yeah, they're lights.
Are they biking or are they walking?
They're walking pretty dang fast.
I think they're biking. Are they biking or are they walking? Are they biking or are they walking?
They're walking pretty dang fast.
I think they're biking.